Hey friends, it's Julie from Plan to Create, and I'm here today to give you a flip through my August pages. I don't do a traditional flip through and walk you through, every page in detail. I will right now go ahead and flip you through the monthly spread that I use. This is my month on one page foldout. It's grid. It's a design that I created and I sell in my shop. I forget to mention that, and I inevitably get questions on YouTube, so I'll just say it out front. I do design the majority of my inserts. So this is a foldout. It has a quick little overview here, more detailed monthly spread there. And then on the back, it's a little different. It actually coordinates with the following month. So I divided into 3 sections, this overview, and you can tell it's a mess, and I'm totally okay with that. I need for it to be messy because I'm still working out ideas on this page. But this is a column for events or specific things that are happening on certain days. This is something that I've included in my pages only. It's my recurring tasks that I've divvied out throughout the month. And then this middle column, you'll see I have kind of hand-drawn little YouTube video things. I was getting a little chintzy with my stickers. But basically, if I have a video planned to go live this week, then I use this to figure out when I'm gonna film, when I'm gonna edit. I block off dates that we're gonna be out of town. So it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to film. So if I have a video going up one of these days, I have to figure out how I'm gonna film that before I head out. So that's what's going on there. And then of course, the following, this will be for September. So I haven't really dove into that page yet because that's for the coming month. And then you'll see here I have a little tab that sends me over to my weeks because the rest of this is like the rest of the year, and actually going in my month on one pages into 2003. And then, sorry, that took me to my current week, so I actually go back here to my inbox. This would have been my inbox for the month of August. So I kind of divvied that out with some different things that I could refer back to. And then this month I used my hourly inserts. They are like HC hourly, and that's for Hobonichi Cousin inspired. After using the Hobonichi Cousin, this is kind of how I laid it out. I had a sidebar. I broke my day like almost in half so that I could not be freaked out by a 24-hour time frame. I divvied it into my lists, and you can just see here, I'll flip you through these pages and you can see they look different from week to week based on the schedule that we had or didn't have. And that's just kind of how I use these pages. So I may come back into some of these into a little bit more detail because I'll refer to them. The way I sell my weeks in my shop, they need to be printed in even numbers, especially for this half letter, so that you have a front and a back for every page. So I go ahead and I bookmark them. I have this simple grid, and you can kind of barely see, but it does divide into quadrants if you want to use it that way. And I do like to break my things up into lists like that. I feel like that's less overwhelming for me than just seeing a big page. So that's worked well for me. But I did want to mention that when you purchase the weeklies, in case you want to have them separate from your month, then, they're in their own little section. At the end of this video, I will be removing this entire section of August weeklies, and I have a separate disc-bound little, storage binder that I will move them towards to keep on file as a record. And I have all my lists written here for this video, so I'm gonna pull this sheet out, and I'm gonna kind of walk you through the 3 things that worked, 3 things I would switch, and 3 products that I either loved, was introduced to, or just want to mention again. Okay, so one of the things that I just wanted to mention, because I don't really have a great way of sharing photos of it or anything else, but just obviously it's really important to me to have tabs that help me find my way around my planner. So I wanted to show you kind of a variety of things I'm using. This here is my goals section, and so I've just taken a sticker from the Planner Spots older kits, tabbed that up there, and I've kept that as goals because I really like having that. But you can see here next, this inbox is where I kind of find the beginning of my month. And I'm just using these new tabs from Cloth and Paper, and I added an inbox sticker from the Planner Spot. She sells these functional tab labels, and they're just clear, and that's what I've been using to label up some of these sections in my planner. You can get bogged down trying to find just the right dividers that say just the right things, and so I felt like that was kind of holding me up, and I just decided to work around that. I don't need the bulk of the extra dividers, I just need a spot and a way to find my way in my planner. So that's one example of how I'm doing it. You're gonna see this little palm back here. It's a paper clip with a cute little palm on top. I think this one might be from Lucy Plans Life, or I can never remember the name of her shop. I'm sorry, I'll try to get it right in the description box. This is a section of my planner where I am working on my scheduling for my YouTube videos. I mentioned that up in the front on the monthly overview. I use that, But I also use this back here. These are the ideas of the videos. I put the week numbers here, so it's like I'm trying to shoot for 1 video a week. Honestly, I write them here first in pencil. There's so many steps to this process, it's ridiculous. Then I add the sticky notes here so that I can kind of move them around if need be. Once I've written the week number, I'm kind of committed, but never too committed. I can always switch things around. Then I figure out, like, again, you know, I'm blocking off times that we're gonna be out of town or we're traveling or I'm just not available. And so I figure out film dates. So like, for instance, I knew I was gonna be gone quite a bit in August. So before I even left for that big long trip there, I think I filmed like, you know, almost all of August's videos except for this one, so that I would have them on my laptop ready to be edited when I had time on my trip or anywhere in these next few weeks. So things might seem a little bit of weird, like out of order, or you'll see in my next video that I share about my top drawer and my pencil pouch that it's kind of like old news, new news, interesting. But all that to say, really enjoy having this little way to find my way in my planner. And then the last one is my weekly page, and this is actually a bookmark that is like, this is the right way for it. It should be like up here at the top. That was the intention initially. It says cloth and paper here, reading this way. But I just felt like I had too many things going along at the top, so I switched that, put it upside down, and that just works really well for me because I know, like, I am getting so used to just coming here to this bottom, like, where's my current week? When I know I need to jot something, I can find that really well. Your brain remembers pretty quickly once you start to associate with a section in your planner, and it's kind of nice to have them be different. Not all just the same sticky tabs, like to have a, you know, a palm or a clear tab and then a sticky. I still am not super familiar yet with this inbox. I don't use it as often as I should, but I do know the other sections. When I flip to schedule, that's my current month. When I go to weekly, that's my current week. And then again, these are probably the 3 like sections that I use the most in my planner. Okay, so I know I've mentioned these before. I know that I've talked about using these colors on repeat in my planner, but I thought I would kind of share as well this month what was working for me, and that is I'm starting to assign them some color codes. So obviously my husband and I, you know, had a huge discussion and we finally agreed that I could be pink. He let it go. That's a joke, I'm just teasing. None of these are like solidly like you will only see this for Julie. But otherwise, like, just pink items are me, and if I were to have an Etsy release, I need to mark those here in my calendar, and those would be in like the tan color. So you can kind of see, like, I do keep track of my Etsy paychecks. I have not written the number in yet, but I get them weekly, so I will go back in and add that after this video. So it's in that other tan color. I guess I just feel like it's there if I need it, the color code, but it's not so rigid that I have to feel like, you know, if I look at my page that anything pink is absolutely just me. Like, there's definitely some ebb and some flow with that, but when I'm digging through my stickers, it's just a lot quicker for me to be like, okay, it's my event, look for pink. And I feel like that just helps cut some time later on. I'm admitting fully that yes, I've overthought it. Yes, it could be just simpler. But if you've ever just sat and kind of flipped through your stickers wondering which one to use, I feel like having that decision made ahead a little bit has simplified things for me. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. But it's worth mentioning because I wanted to let you know that I am doing a loose color code. And I always kind of like to share how I, you know, have things that are working, but let's be real, like I was kind of figuring that out mid-month. So some of this stuff isn't necessarily color coded the correct way, and it's okay. It's like this was a transition month where I started to implement this practice. So it's messy and it's okay. Like, I know I'm having like a self-talk right now really, but I am telling you and I'm telling myself, it's okay. Like, let your planner take a hit every now and then and learn from it. As far as a third thing that's working, I have here written on my notes that I revisited my goals, and that does work. I feel like I got really out of touch with my nutrition after so much traveling that we've been doing in the last few months. So I am reprioritizing that a little bit. It is a struggle, you guys. It's just hard. I don't like to meal plan. I don't like to do all the things that I know I should do to help myself stay responsible on that. I will say that this is like working, the whole revisiting my goals thing. I would also say it's an absolute work in progress. So by no means have I achieved where I want to be with that, but I did go through and I actually did some more updating on these. I kind of tweaked a little bit of my goals this month. I spent some time in here, and I think that that's important to do each month, because if I just do this at the beginning of the year and never look back on it, then I'm never gonna, you know, acknowledge it or grow from it. So that's probably still always going to be something that I have to continue to force myself to do. Look back, I have this all written down, just follow it instead of being an absolute squirrel when I go to plan my week or my month. Something I added here, it's kind of fun. These are like the chores that you're broken down from each month that you see revisited on my monthly overview pages. It's basically the same information that I've copied onto my months directly. But then also I just stuck these little stickers down just because I subscribe to different kits, and so it's kind of fun to know which ones are coming approximately throughout the month. And so I've kind of figured out that that's the weeks that they arrive, and so I did include that too, so I can actually jot that down into my little incoming column so that I know to watch for them that particular week. Okay, so now let's go and check out some things I'm going to change or that maybe didn't work out so well. I'm gonna start right here. I really had this fun idea. I think I put that one down and I realized I had that icon, and I really wanted to do the entire row of these like this size icons. And so I just thought, well, I don't necessarily have all of those. Maybe I'll, use what I have this week, kind of test out the idea. I drew my own little house. It's hideous. And so this is like, didn't work, but it's work in progress. Again, so it's kind of that fuzzy line. It's like, this doesn't work for me. I felt like it was ugly. I did not love coming back to this page particularly, but I put enough like smoke and mirrors up here to distract myself. Once everything got filled in, it got a little bit better. But that's something that I'm hoping, I think that they should be arriving soon. So I do plan to do that for the following week and just to test that out. So I'm mentioning that as like kind of a fail that's in progress to being a win. And again, I'm sharing that with you guys because I feel like it's so tempting for me to only share the things that are beautiful in my planner. I want to give you the close-up shots of the pretty stickers that I didn't even design. But the reality is 1 week I had to try this out and I had to, give it a whirl and see if it worked. So this is my week. Week 34 kind of took a hit for the month of August, and it's like, okay, it's just trying something new out, and I think it will be a fun addition in the weeks ahead. You can look at these pages and you see there are so many lines. There's grids within squares, within rectangles, and so I feel like adding circles in shapes like this anytime I can, I try to, because there's just so much linear action going on. It's nice to have some soft shapes in there, so I think that they will be a fun addition, and I look forward to those. I don't think I mentioned, but they are from Sweet Caress Designs. I reached out to her and she customized some for me. They're coming in the colors that I want, and so like I said, they should be here shortly, and I hope to get them going for week 35. We're going all the way to the back here for something that ooh, this is another thing that worked really well. I don't know if you guys saw this. Did I show you guys this on the video yet? I know I shared it on Instagram, but this awesome little packet from the Planner Spot was in her September kit, and it did not come punched, but I immediately was like, ooh, should I? And I was like, yeah. And my lavender just went right through it. It's awesome. So I have that back here in the back. So that's like a guaranteed like win, love it. It gets a little thick, I'm not gonna lie, but that's up to me. I can control that. I stuck some sticky notes back there, and then I have an old photograph of my family there. So that's my fault if it's thick. But the other thing that I'm going to say as a fail this month, it's like, I'm going to be ordering another sheet of these. I don't know if you noticed or if I've mentioned it before, but we did a huge road trip. My kids basically moved from Oregon to Tennessee this summer, and we met up with them in Salt Lake, Utah, and then drove across the country with them. And so that was super fun. We went through 6 new states to us, but I had started this with green, and I came through with some pink stickers to add in the new states, and I'm really regretting the green. Like, what was I thinking? Why green, Julie? Like, ugh, of all colors. I'm to order another one of these. These are from So Much Crafting. I found them on our Etsy shop, and I will link that below in case you ever want to do this. I think it's a fun way to track where you've been. That's just a random thing in my planner that I thought of that, yep, that needs to get switched, so I'll take care of that this month. I had one more thing that I wanted to mention as something that I'm switching a little bit, and it's just literally a mental note, but I'm just kind of trying to be transparent with you guys to share where I'm at. The home, errands, to buy, share, to do, projects, and incoming, those are categories. A lot of them are very consistent. This like share, to do, projects, I'm always kind of fluctuating like what I want to do with these. Do I want to do meals? What do I want to do? But I wanted to mention that share, I used to have it like, Monday through Sunday, what do I want to share on Instagram? And it's just a mental change for me, is that I just have realized, it's like ideas is almost more my column. It's like, what ideas do I have? And I'm really trying to look at it from that perspective instead of like, I need to create content for Wednesday at 8 a.m. It's like, what idea, what have I come across recently that I think that you guys might be interested in? I'm really trying to change that, and the algorithms and all the things will hate me for that, but I'm okay. Like, I just, for my own peace of mind, like I'm drawing some of my own boundaries just to keep the love alive. And so it's like, what idea do I have? And so you'll see in some of my pages, I'll just write down like the 6 states. I put regrets, green, you know, that's just like, I just want to share that with you guys. And so here's the way I'm sharing it. Instead of on Instagram, I'm mentioning it in a video. But I just, as the things come up, I'm just gonna write down little ideas of things I want to share with you guys. And I'm not gonna schedule them on a 7-day basis. You know, it's just kind of things as they pop in my head. That's how I'm going forward. And I would just encourage content creators, you know, be kind to yourself, keep the love alive. Like, don't let the algorithm push you into sharing on certain days. I just feel like you have good stuff to share. Keep it honest and authentic to yourself. So that's really the message I'm trying to send myself, but I'll mention it in case it resonates with anyone else. I'm gonna just flip to another page because in case you guys are sick of staring at that, this is probably, I think, one of the prettier pages of my month. But I wanted to show 3 things that I really enjoyed using this month. And the first one was just this little stamp. It's so simple. It's from scrapbook.com. I am an affiliate with them, so if you did purchase this, I do get, you know, pennies on your dollar, and it's no extra cost to you. And it's just something that you could use really practically in your planner, in a journal. I love stamps that are like that aren't just something you use once and never again. So you can see I have other little guys, they're not sticking anymore, they're just floating out here, which means I need to wash these and get them sticky again. But these are from scrapbook.com. It's called Just Months, and like I said, they're $10 or less. I think they were just around $7.50 this month on sale. So that's kind of a good little deal, something that I use on repeat in my planner. They fit really nicely in this particular insert, but I think I even use them later in my other pages. Yeah, I keep a pretty thin margin up here at the top of my pages. It's pretty consistent though, and so these just fit really nicely, and they're just a nice little statement. I like to write the month over it sometimes to kind of layer, but you don't have to, and it's something you'll be seeing me use a lot of in the future probably, so wanted to mention those. So the second thing that I really enjoyed using this month were the transparent strips from the planner spot. And you can see I used them here. I used them here because those were like the days that we were driving across America. So I just kind of broke it up, like where we had lunch or, you know, what states we were traveling through. I did a little bit of that. But she recently released these thin strips, so you can see the thickness of those guys and then compare them to the thin here. And so pop up here to my schedule. I really enjoyed using them, but it's like I highlighted it, but it's actually straight. Like, that's impossible. I could never do that with my Tombow marker. I think that they look really crisp, really nice. I've also seen people use something like this to just, you know, cut and highlight words in their planner. So there's a lot of things you can do with these, but I really love using them to mark events that cross across several days. The third thing, and I actually don't know if this is available in her shop yet, or if she's even going to bring it to her shop, but if you guys were interested, I bet you could contact her. The planner spot made me these sampler stickers with all the colors on one sheet that I love. Like, oh, I told her, I don't even want to use these. They look like perfection to me. But so all of my mad liners here are represented. They're just so beautiful. Her colors are latte, blush, taupe, and ecru. And so I have all of the full sheets of those, and I need that because I need them just to have a bunch on hand so that I will use them. So something like this where it's like a little bit of a limited supply, I'm so funny. I'm like totally ready to hoard these. But she promised that I could, you know, get more, and it's true. So I will be using these. I have them tucked up here in my planner. I can see myself just keeping them up here in my pocket because they'll be super handy, but for right now, they're still kind of on display because I'm in love with them. So I have her pretty quote sticker backing it, and I just have those tucked up in this pocket because they really do, not only are they there ready for me to use, but right here they just send this beautiful message of like, hey, here's the colors you're gonna see in my planner. So thought I would mention those, and they're kind of a fun addition and something that I really was excited to receive this month, like ridiculously excited. So I really appreciate you guys joining me. Thank you so much for making it this far. If you have not had a chance, please click the thumbs up and like this video. That lets YouTube know that it was a decent video and that maybe someone else would want to see it. And if you haven't taken a chance yet to subscribe, I would appreciate you doing so. The more the merrier, guys. All right, until next time, take care.